This is I Know What You Watched Last Week, and on this episode we have a battle between the three greatest decades of horror: the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Three greatest decades in horror?
I guess.
I tell you what's not the greatest decade is the noughties. Are there any lessons learned from last week's episode?
The 70s likes to do confusing horror.
No, last week.
Oh.
Are there any lessons learned from last week's episode?
Oh, I see what you're saying. What, from me or from the viewer?
For us. For the
Well,
viewer, maybe. I
Not
don't
really
know.
any new lessons, no.
I learnt some lessons.
Of course you did.
Mostly it was don't watch 3 movies from 2026 in a row. Because you might get a little bit agitated and you might
Your will to live.
throw around some empty threats about slapping some inept directors in the face. I'd never bring harm to anybody, physical harm, but I stand by everything else that I said last week. I absolutely stand by all of it, though. This week, we're back to happy. Back to joy. Yeah.
Although
70s,
these are
80s,
not
and
very
90s.
highly rated, I noticed.
A lot of movies that we watch aren't highly rated. I'm trying to think of...
I'm pretty
of
sure all the
name of
movies we
one with
watched
the
last week would probably
six-breasted
be rated
witch.
higher. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, of course, because all horror movies from 2026 mostly get
The
100 out of
greatest thing
100
ever.
from the critics, didn't they? So, what do we get on with watching
We
last week?
started the week with The Surgeon.
Which is the 90s movie, 1995.
We then saw Prime Evil.
That one is from 89 or 88.
And finally, the wonderful title, Lisa and the Devil.
Yeah, man. 73.
I mean, it's Lisa and it's the devil.
Really struggled, man, to put these ones in order, man.
Me too.
For all different reasons. Someone's gonna come bottom this week and they don't deserve it.
I really don't know for sure how I felt about these movies in terms of ranking them. I guess just for the sake of having to do it because we've chosen this format for
For
our
the
show.
sake of it.
I'm going to say third place to Lisa and the Devil.
Oh! Mario Bava, take that.
And then I'm going to say second place to Prime Evil. So I guess first place goes to the first watch of the week, The Surgeon.
So the 1995 movie has won for you. What a surprise.
Great year.
You claim to love the 70s the most. So, my order, after just much deliberation, is thus. Third place, The Surgeon. Second place, Lisa and the Devil. And top of the pile, Prime Evil.
Can you say it any other way? Because I can't.
So now, it's a cult movie as well, so it's got to be extra
Right.
evil with the way that you say it. My third place,
Yes.
from 95, the 90s, great
How
decade for
dare
horror,
you.
great decade for movies in general. And here we've got The Surgeon, also known as the Exquisite Tenderness.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I think it was it's the Exquisite something. Yes, the Exquisite Tenderness. They mention the Exquisite Tenderness in the movie, in the dialogue. They say the Exquisite Tenderness is like the highest threshold of pain that you're getting. Yeah, they call it the Exquisite Tenderness. Bit like Hellraiser, that, isn't it?
I mean, I would have assumed you were putting on some, 70s smut if you told me we were watching Exquisite Tenderness.
Good. Well, that's the name that they've rejected, and they've gone with The
Yeah.
Surgeon. Also, the poster of this film made it look like it was going to be a rip-off of Reanimator.
Right.
It had a needle with, green gunk in it and some goofy eyes looking through it. So I wasn't expecting this. It was a bit of a darker take. They tried to go dark. But how is this moving bottom with this cast list? Malcolm McDowell, Charles Dance, Peter Boyle, and one of my personal favourites, James Remar. Count it, that's 4. You could just have one of those in a movie. I'd be like, yes, here we go.
And yet you
Do you
put
even
it
know
bottom.
do you know who any of those people are? Of course,
I know Malcolm
you know Malcolm
McDowell.
McDowell. You must know Charles Dance, right? Thespian. Okay, no. James Remar. No. You don't know who James Remar is? And Peter Boyle?
No.
Well, I guess I'll enlighten you throughout the film. So, we've already mentioned that cast list. How about this for a tagline? Right, this is how high they're aiming here. First Jason, then Freddy, finally a professional. Because he's a surgeon.
This is nothing like either of those movies.
Yeah, but they're aiming like the surgeon's going to be the next Jason. The surgeon is going to be the next Freddy.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Would you buy a Surgeon Necker toy?
No.
No, he's not that iconic.
No.
What about our T-shirt, the surgeon? No, his name is Dr. Matar.
He's not iconic in
death
any
in
way.
Spanish. James Remar's iconic. You don't know who he is. This film was from Canada, by the way. Canadian. Back in the day, 1995, this cost $10 million Canadian, which was about $7 million American, which in today's money is about $15 million budget American. Yeah, that's how you get that cast, isn't it? Very good. Movie opens. There's a young child. It's black and white because it's back in the day. And the song Lollipop is playing. Yeah, that one. And the little boy is watching his brother getting botched by a surgeon, his young brother, while his parents stand outside. And he peeks on this and sees it all. Seems to drive him crazy because that little kid turns out to be Dr. Matar, the antagonist of this film. Right, Dr. McDowell.
I didn't understand what was going on there, by the way. I was like, why are they in their home? Why is the kid on, like, the kitchen counter or something? And why is there some surgeon working on him whilst his parents are just milling about?
Some things man is not meant to know.
Clearly.
In the present day, Dr. Malcolm McDowell, he's showing experimental surgery on a baboon. And it's an abdominal implant that he's been working on, which he's testing on this baboon. But the baboon escapes from its shackles. McDowell gets out the room, but some poor old other, attending is just being terrorised by this baboon until they manage to put the baboon down.
Baboons
somewhat.
are scary.
Baboons are scary, yeah. Probably the scariest monkey.
Yeah, this was a really well-trained baboon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, what about, you think about other movies, you've got the baboon in Lord of Illusions, and you've also got, famously, the baboon in The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, where Jeff Goldblum had to actually interact physically with the baboon.
Yeah.
And he had to show, like, pure dominance and alpha behaviour all throughout the movie to make sure that the baboon didn't, like, get a sniff, of his fear. I'm not sure I'd be getting that close to a baboon.
I think
I just don't think I would be, would you? So we've got Malcolm McDowell who just botched this abdominal implant on a baboon.
Yes.
Our lady of the movie, she's Dr. McCann, and she blames Dr. Malcolm McDowell's methods for the death of this patient. But because she's against his methods, she, without him knowing, started looking after this patient, giving him dialysis. But then that doesn't work for this patient and it bleeds out. Right, so then Dr. McCann gets told off by the one and only Charles Dance, who's the leader of the hospital. His name is Ed. And she reckons the patient died the same way as the baboon, as I said.
Right.
And she enlists the help of Dr. James Remar to get to the bottom of it because he is familiar with Dr. Malcolm McDowell's methods.
Right, even though he's actually just, like, what are they called? Intern things. Like, he's not a full doctor. He's there to learn.
But Dr. James Remar is a genius.
Yeah.
That's why he's the intern that knows more than the
Especially
other
with
doctors.
toxicology.
There, yeah. And James Remar, he's your go-to if you want, a cocky or arrogant character, or when he was a bit younger, just a crazy violent character. He's in The Warriors. You'll know him from Sex and the City. He's Richard in Sex and the City, the hotel magnate, and he's super arrogant and cocky in that, and he plays it to a T. Yeah. I also saw him recently in Tales from the Crypt, rewatching Tales from the Crypt. He plays a character called Red with red hair, and he gets done by Whoopi Goldberg. Good stuff.
Well, he was certainly more likeable in this one than he is in Sex and the City.
I like him as a character. I love Sex and the City. I showed you Sex and the City, and the reason I like it is because of all the male characters are well written, and end of Sex and the City and all during it, it just shows that women without a man in their life all go absolutely mental. People say it's a feminist piece. It's absolutely not. First thing Dr. McCann and Dr. Remar do after she enlists his help is they go and sneak around the hospital at night time, And as they walk around the corridors, they hear some muffled sounds. They walk into a room, and there's a surgeon there, bound and gagged. And as they're helping him out, there's some more noise. So they go to another room. Dr. Malcolm McDowell, he's been strung up and hung. It's only half an hour into the movie, and Malcolm McDowell's dead.
Darn.
Yeah, they should have kept him in here.
What a loss.
He was an interesting character, I thought. Mm-hmm. And we're only half an hour in, and Dr. McDowell, he got paid for 1 week's work $100,000 and never saw the movie, he said.
Really?
Yeah, that's not bad for a week's work, is it? 100K. I'm thinking if they had $7.3 million American, Malcolm McDowell's getting 100K for a week's work.
Yeah.
Thinking then what's James Remar? James Remar's probably not getting as much as Malcolm McDowell doing more work. He's probably on like what, 25 grand for 2 weeks work or something like that. Boyle's probably on the same. And Charles Dance's barely in it, so let's just say him a flat 20 grand. There's a lot of money still to be going around in this flick, isn't there? And considering they couldn't light it properly, I mean, it's so dark. And I love dark lit stuff in low light. But even at the beginning of the movie, before it begins, there's like a disclaimer. It says, this movie has been restored and something else by some company. So it was even darker than what we saw.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah, but I think that with the remastering of the darkness, even though some people's faces are just completely in shadow when they shouldn't be, in certain points, I still really liked it. It adds to the tone for me.
Yeah, clearly it didn't bother me, because that's not an overriding thought I took away from it.
After they found Malcolm McDowell hanging, the killer surgeon attacks. It's Dr. Matar, and he's arrested. So we're half an hour in, we know we've seen the killer. He's this long-haired guy, isn't he? Quite tall. Yeah. And Dr. McCann, she knows him. And he was fired 3 years ago from the hospital for doing unauthorised work on terminal patients. And now we're introduced to Lieutenant Peter Boyle. He's the bald guy, the bald cop.
Right.
He always plays a stern guy. Yeah, he's good. And he insists that Dr. Matar be transferred to county hospital on his say-so, because he's tried to escape, but then he's got himself run over.
Yeah.
As in he's absolutely
At least he's
battered.
right outside the hospital. I mean, that's practical.
Yeah. Now that Lieutenant Boyle knows who it is, he's kind of like getting the background on him. So he's sitting in a room in the hospital, a dark lit room. He's with Dr. James Remar, he's with Dr. McCann, some other cops. Getting the background, and the background is that while trying to escape the hospital some years ago, Dr. Matar threw himself out the window and acquired pretty terrible spinal injuries.
So he was paralysed.
Paralysed, yeah.
At least partially. And the cop is even like, but I just saw that guy running around. So we're like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah. Now we're going to find out a little bit. Dr. Matar, he's in county, he wakes up cuffed to the bed.
Yeah.
What he does is, a little bit like Castle Freak, he goes to a metal drawer, puts his hand in it, and he crushes his hand twice, breaks his hands, pretty grim, and then pulls off the cuffs, and he escapes. Before he escapes, he gets back on the bed, pretends that he's asleep still. The doctor comes in, and I think he strangles him. He strangles the attending and steals his smock and his face covering and all that, and he escapes the hospital because he takes the doctor's thumb so that he has access to all the doors and stuff, so he's using a severed thumb.
That's great. I was wondering at this point, when he was smashing his hand in the drawer, obviously we find out that he can kind of somewhat fix himself, but to have to go through smashing, like breaking your own hand and then sliding out of a cuff, do you think you'd have the willpower for it?
I think because he's a mad doctor, a mad genius doctor, he's probably injured himself before to test his potion on him, so I think he's used to this, just hasn't done it for a long time. But it was very good.
I don't know if I could do it.
Now, very strangely, Dr. McCann and James Remar, they meet at somewhere called the Beluga Restaurant. So they're sitting at a table.
Oh, yeah.
And there's all these glass walls, and there's just...
It's an aquarium
I assume
wall.
beluga whales swimming about in the aquarium in this restaurant. Again, very darkly lit. It's very glowing dark blue and just black.
I liked it.
It's amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic.
It does.
Yeah, it really, really does.
I mean,
look
if you're
great.
going to have a scene in your movie that's set in a restaurant, why not do this one?
I love that they
Looks
just
awesome.
went like on the head. Let's go to the Beluga Restaurant. Oh, look.
That's my impression of a beluga.
I think we had some of those sounds during dinner as well. While they're at dinner, James Remar, they're talking business, and Dr. James Remar, he thinks that there's more to Dr. McCann and Dr. Matar's history.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of like prodding at this.
Because Dr. Matar
a
whispered
little bit.
something into her ear before he was arrested.
James Remar, he's also bought Matar's file. Mm-hmm. Right, so he's looking through his file, and he comes across subjects like tissue regeneration. Could he have cured himself So that is why he's walking about. Like,
yeah,
you've
wasn't
already
this because
mentioned it.
they found his thesis, and his thesis is all about the stuff it was testing on terminal patients, and it's all about, like you said, sort of regenerative tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So he was basically saying that you could elongate life to whatever extent
Yeah.
in people with terminal illnesses.
Dr. Matara is actually trying to save the world like all mad doctors.
So
Like Dr. Freeze and Batman and Robin.
so then they're like, well, if he was able to do this, then yeah, maybe that's the kind of only explanation they can even possibly find for why he's no longer paralyzed.
Yeah. Look beneath his madness and you'll find genius, is what James Remar says. Very true. So Matara is now back at the hospital. He's gone from county and he's back at his hospital. And he's pissing off Mother Love. Mother Love is here. Remember the patient?
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
Mother Love. And Mother Love tells the staff that Dr. Matara's walked into a room and she doesn't trust him. But her doctor doesn't believe her. So she puts Mother Love back to bed.
Yeah.
And as she's about to fall asleep, Matara comes out the ceiling. And that's the end of Mother Love. Do you remember Matara in the ceiling?
I do, because
Yeah.
they go through the whole process. Like, we've seen him go into the room, but they go through everywhere trying to find him, and they can't see him anywhere. So are they saying that he was, like, in the ceiling and then he moved one of the blocks and came out? Because if he was just sort of like Spider-Man up there, pretty sure they would have seen him.
We do know that he knows his way around this hospital, even in unseen parts, because he's crawling around it later as well when no one can find him. Now Dr. McCann and James Remar, they're walking by the water after the beluga dinner.
Right.
And once again, they're supposed to be just walking along by the river, the city's in the background lit up, but no one has decided to light James Remar's face, so he just got blank James Remar's face and barely visible Dr. McCann as they're talking to each other, and like his blank face goes in for a kiss at the end. It's like, is James Remar trying to kiss her, or is it blank face man trying to kiss her? I don't know, but if this has been restored, imagine how dark it was originally. I still liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I did too.
It's the kind of technique I'm going to be using in Heathen when we go to the other world and we don't want to quite see everything about one of the monsters. But when it's just James Remar walking across the river with his date.
But what's making me really laugh is that clearly it was a big issue, but I don't even recall having a single thought about any of this.
Well, it wasn't going through your head like, why can't I see anyone's face?
I just was enjoying the way it was. I thought everything looked good.
I thought it looked great as well. Yeah, truthfully.
I normally have more of a thought when night scenes are overlit in movies, and I'm like, well, where's that light
Absolutely.
source?
Which
Like,
is
where's
a huge,
that coming from?
huge problem in 2026 unless you're shooting a shark in a cave and not showing the sharks. It's too dark, Mr. Wadlow. Right. After who I assume was James Remar trying to kiss McCann by the river, back at the hospital, there's two just random doctors or nurses having sex in one of the empty rooms, and they've taken the time to light about 50 candles.
Romance is important,
Yeah,
Johnny.
I do. You know, you kind of. I imagine you get more of a quickie in if you're working in a
I would
hospital.
have thought so.
Yeah, so it just takes
Oh, no,
more
wait,
time to light
wait,
the
wait.
candles.
No, they're not doctors. I've just recalled what the scene you mean. No. It's a patient.
Mm-hmm.
The one who was blasting her music and had to be kept
Oh
turned
yeah, I
down.
forgot about her. Of course, she's a black patient, so she was blasting gangster rap and was told to turn it down because the patients around here prefer Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And as well, they should in 1995, because as we don't all know, but we should all know it. If you're a Bon Jovi fan, the greatest album they released was in 1995, their hard rock album. These days.
Okay, so she's been introduced, and also in that same visit when her music is being turned down, she's being asked about, you know, whether she wants to marry her partner or not.
Right.
So it's actually her boyfriend or fiance who's there
It's too
making
dark.
love to her.
It's too dark to
So
tell.
now it makes sense as to why all the candles are there. They do have time. I mean, she's got nothing but time.
I respect the cinematography, the set dressing,
Yeah,
the time
you
it
love a
takes
candle.
to
So
do
do I.
this. After they do the deed, he goes to wash up in the bathroom. And while he's in there, Dr. Matar comes out and stabs him with his needle.
Oh.
Comes out into the room. The woman patient thinks it's her boyfriend at first, dressed in doctor's clothes. She's like, ooh, where'd you get the outfit? But quickly she realises it's Dr. Matar, and he kind of he knocks her out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he gets out his big needle, he shoves it up her nose and drains what I can only imagine is snot.
No, I think it was fluid from around the brain.
Yeah, it was that, but it just still looks like snot though. He just stuck it up her nose. It looks like loads of green stuff's coming into
Yeah, but
his
I
thing.
thought you would be thinking of, you know, one of your favourite subjects from primary school when you learn about the Egyptians.
Yeah, taking the brain out.
Exactly.
That was great.
So I was a little bit confused
Maybe that's why there's so much
Until
brain
maybe
stuff in Heathen.
this point because I was like, okay, so I get the thesis, I get how he's fixed himself, but why is he killing everyone? And then I realised, right, he's obviously taking something from certain people. Apparently he didn't want it from the boyfriend, though.
It's the life force, isn't it, that regenerates
Yeah.
him. So you've got to take it from the brain / the nostrils. But
Yeah.
that was pretty grim, sticking that large needle up the
was.
nostrils. Even though it's very obvious that all we're doing was passing the needle past her cheek.
What?
Yeah, still, the old classic techniques are the best, aren't they? These days you have a CGI needle up the nose and no one will buy it. You know, we've been to Beluga restaurant. We've had a walk next to the river. Time to swim naked in the pool now. It's Dr. McCann and James Remar. And we get full frontal James Remar jumping into the pool and then like doing this with his legs in the pool with the camera looking at it. But again, it's too dark to really see. It just looks like a dark nothing is there. You know, James Remar's been typecast as a guy who jumps into pools naked full frontal because he does this in Sex and the City as well.
Maybe it was his suggestion both times.
Yeah, and why not? It's got to be freeing, hasn't it? Yeah,
I don't know if I'd
was
want
just
that impact on what I imagine are very sensitive areas of the body.
Now you can jump into the pool naked. Yeah, a man of experience.
Clearly.
While they're swimming naked, pager goes off. Remember those?
Yeah.
Doc's pager goes off. They have to get back to the hospital. When they arrive, there's a huge police presence outside, and the dead bodies are being wheeled out. Lieutenant Peter Boyle, he's there, and he sends his troops inside. So now the troops are going to search the hospital for Dr. Matar. And with his broken hand now, we see Matar sitting in one of the rooms, and he's, you know, putting his hand back and injecting himself so that his hand is good again for him to go around killing. Yeah, you know, because he's got the fluid, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's finally got it from the girl. Ed, Charles Dance, who's been like, everything's going to be okay, I'm going to find him. He finally does meet Matar, pulls a gun on him, but he blabs too much, and he ends
always
up
do.
being put in a chair, and Matar stitches his lips together and just starts, you know, talking psychotically at him about how badly he was treated and stuff like that. Cool.
It is a great horror movie scene.
He's also
Adds something to it.
he's given the whole explanation now of how he needs to keep regenerating himself to stay
Yeah.
100%. It's not like he can just inject himself once or twice a month. He's got to keep doing it all the time. Boyle,
And he's aware that he's kind of turned into a monster because of this.
Lieutenant Boyle is asking, "Oh, wait, where's Charles Dance / Ed?" So they all rush the room, but it's too late. Charles Dance is gone, and McCann realizes, she has this like light bulb moment. Oh my god, Matar is killing everyone responsible for his firing. She thinks that she's next. What has she done? James Remar was on something. This is why he's a genius intern. He sniffs things out.
Not just toxicology, but also hidden emotions.
And she comes out of it. Everything you believe is true. Just let your imagination run wild. Matar and I were lovers.
We did it.
We were lovers. And then she tells James Remar about the Lollipop song scene. And James Remar was like, yeah, of course I know about this. Yeah. And turns out later on in life, Matar showed McCann his methods.
Right.
And she sold him out.
She did.
She's the reason he got fired.
Yeah.
She's got a genius doctor boyfriend here who's looking to cure humanity of their ills. And she's like, no. What kind of a doctor is she?
Yeah, I think she was concerned at the speed of which he was going forward with testing on humans, and she wasn't sure it was safe.
He's a genius, though. Don't stop genius. Matar now, he's getting a bit silly. He's like coming out of walls with his needle and just injecting jello molds with the solution, I believe, or poison, who knows, even in crisps, stuff like this, in the staff dinner. Then the doctors go and take the dinners to the cops and stuff like that. I don't know what Matar's been putting in that. Snot, probably.
No! He's trying to get them all to pass out.
He's also toying with the staff, and he's hiding in the vents again.
Yeah.
One of the cops then finds him in the
Good old
vent,
vents.
sticks his head up there, and it's needle in the eye. Needle up the nose, needle in the eye.
This is
Where
why,
else can he stick needles? In the ear?
much like, you know, the dumb waiters, that's the thing I like. This idea, and like when people do it, when you're going into like the loft, the attic or whatever, and you've got a hole in the ceiling, and the first thing that has to go into this dark and like weird space is just your head. I mean, you're so vulnerable.
Would you go up feet first then?
Yeah, handstand my way backwards up the
Yeah.
ladder.
After we see this cop...
No, but I'd probably at least have like I don't know. I'd try and
yeah, something to
protect
think
myself
about clearly for
somehow.
you, because you haven't figured out all the kinks yet, have you?
And also, when I got up there, I wouldn't just be like... and let someone from behind get me, you'd be like, duh, duh.
Well,
Like,
it's
what's my surroundings?
Good
you
to know that you've learnt from these horror movies of what not to
Yeah.
do. Yeah. There's a chase scene now. It's Matar chasing McCann around. He finally gets her. He straps her down to a gurney and they have it out. And she tries to appeal to his better side. She's like, remember when we were lovers? There's good in you. I know there's still good in you. But then he's like, you can't kiss a frog and make the prince appear. Yes!
You like that, like
Next thing you know, he's coming at her with a bone saw at the chest. I don't like bone saws. They're scary.
Oh, I love a good bone saw.
Luckily, though, where she's strapped down on this gurney and she's familiar with medical apparatus,
Yeah.
there's a defibrillator next to her, which she's previously pressed to charge it up. And as he's coming towards with a bone saw, she gets him in the face. Lieutenant Boyle and his boys in blue charge in, and they load him up full of lead. And he's dead there on the floor. He's like,
or is he?
but then he's like, he's fooled him.
Spot on, Johnny.
He's injected himself that he can regenerate again, even though he's got
Yeah.
loads of bullets in him.
But would that get rid of the actual bullets? 'Cause surely that's not good to have.
We're
in a
not here to
movie.
question the methods of a genius, okay? Now Matar is laid out. He's on a cold steel pathology table, and he's about to be cut open when he wakes up with his needle, and he stabs the doctor in the forehead. So now we've had eye. What was the other one?
I don't know.
Nose.
Oh right.
And head. That's
Yeah.
why we've got no ear yet. But then Dr. McCann wakes up, we think it's just a dream. But next to her is Dr. James Remar, and he's been slaughtered. He's dead. Matar turns up, there's a bit of a scuffle. McCann gets like a blade, phew, throws it, goes into Matar's head, and he falls back onto a glass table, and he's penetrated by glass. And then she crushes his needle to signify the
No coming back.
end of Matar's ways. Cool movie.
So much
Derivative and all that. But yeah, there's loads of good deaths. There's one we didn't even mention because he injects someone early on, all their veins bulge and pop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was cool. So, Canada doing it
Oh,
right back
Canada.
in 1995. I'm not sure if this was released in the cinema. I don't think so because it had the box aspect ratio.
Right.
And this was shot so well that they could have had it in a more 2.35185 aspect ratio, and it would have served the movie very well. I'm not sure why they've done that with all the money that they had. Never heard this movie before until it came up on Mr. Bezos' streaming service.
Whereas it sounds like a very classic title, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's probably
The Surge.
loads of movies called The Surge, and that's why they swept it to exquisite tenderness. But yeah, a bottom pick for me this week, but still very enjoyable. Any other week it could have come top. Where did you put it again?
Top.
You put it top. Well, there we go. Yeah, and it does deserve a top as well, certainly.
Despite the apparent lighting flaw.
Yes, loads of lighting flaws, but it works for it. It certainly
It
works
simply works.
for it. It just works. Simply works, like you said. So my number 2 now, from 1973, directed by Mario Bava, starring the one and only Telly Savalas, TV's Kojak. He's Greek, a man of passion. You can't bend down and tie your shoelaces in front of this guy, you know what I mean?
Okay, so is that the young guy?
No, it's the bald guy who plays the devil.
Oh, that
Telly
guy.
Savalas.
Okay, yeah.
The one who's always sucking the lollipop.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, another lollipop.
Telly Savalas.
Lollipop.
What a dude.
Lollipop. Yeah.
This movie opens up. We're in Italy.
I think we're in Spain, actually.
We are in Spain. You are correct.
So Lisa is part of a tour group, and they've stopped off at this little piazza or plaza, whatever they call it in Spain, and there's an old painting on the wall of the devil
It's a fresco.
carrying away a dead body. So we're only a few minutes into the movie, and already Lisa does something that pisses me off.
What?
She says to her friend, "Oh, you just wait here. I'll be back. I'm just going to go and do something." I was like, "No, stay with the group." And then she wanders off and walks so slowly, goes through all these little alleyways. She's clearly getting herself lost. But you know why she's done it? Because she's a woman and she wants to do some shopping.
Glad you said it.
Well, she does. She finds this little weird shop.
Actually, you're getting annoyed by her and she's done this, what you just explained. This sounds like your mum.
It does. Maybe that's why. But I was like, you're taking ages. You can't expect the whole group to wait for you whilst you do a spot of shopping in some back alley
The
somewhere.
amount of times we've gone to meet your parents to go for dinner or something, and we're like, oh, I thought Gwyneth was coming. Yeah, she just wandered off shopping. She'll be back. We don't know when. It's a silly question.
So she finally finds this little shop in the middle of nowhere, and it's full of really weird stuff.
Well, I thought it was like, oh, this is like the pawn shop.
I thought
From,
that too, actually.
from Heathen, but with less. There's going to be so much more, and it's going to be this in the daytime as well.
Yeah.
But because we're in Spain, old ruins and stuff like this, it has that architecture which lends itself so well to something like a pawn shop.
Yeah, I also can't believe that this was bottom place for me. It was all Lisa's fault.
All this is felt, yeah, this is a very good film.
Because the setting as well. I mean, you can't really get a bad shot. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It made me think maybe I should just buy like one of those proper run down £5,000 properties in, you know, Spain or Italy, and just go there and shoot my film, and I can do it for like £5,000 because I've bought a property.
And everyone can live there just like Castle
Exactly,
Free.
yeah, just like that. Before you go a little bit further, because you've gone in, when she's at the fresco and she sees the devil taking away the woman, you wouldn't realise, but I was like, the devil looks strangely like Telly Savalas. It's like they've drawn Telly Savalas
Yeah.
just holding onto a woman like...
Well, that's really weird because in this shop that Lisa's now gotten to, she wanders through to a slightly small, like to a different back room, basically, and there are two men there, and they seem to be talking about a life-size doll like they have in Madame Tussauds or whatever, right? A lifelike replica. And she sees some weird spinny musical box thing, and she's like, oh, how much for this? And then the guy turns around, and it's, what did you say it was called?
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas. And we get a little shot of the fresco devil face being like superimposed over his face. And I was like, no, I wasn't seeing it.
I thought it was cool.
But
I thought
again,
it was uncanny.
Annoying as Lisa
Like
is.
I said, before I even saw the superposition, I was like,
You
that's
like it's him?
Telly Savalas in that fresco.
I was too confused trying to figure out where all the limbs were coming from.
Yeah.
But anyway, Lisa's just like,
Mm.
oh.
She knows it's him from the fresco as well.
And then she just starts running.
Yeah, but you haven't mentioned that Telly Savalas has been handed this giant stiff mannequin.
Yeah.
He's like, thank you for giving me that. But he's like holding it like underneath his arm and things like this, and the thing is like completely stiff.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I say, Lisa is spooked. And as she runs away, she goes through the town again. Who's she bump into? Telly Savalas, carrying this stiff. And as Telly Savalas walks up to her, he kind of like loses control of the stiff, doesn't he? And it goes like towards her face, like, oh, come back here.
Yeah,
They're
does
always
he
getting
lose
away.
control or is he doing it on purpose?
And she's asking for directions. He's like, over that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's a bit spooked. And as he walks off, Telly, he's talking to the mannequin, and it seems to somewhat be talking back to him, or he's just doing two voices out loud. Very, very strange. So now she's set on the way by herself. She goes up some stairs outside, and a guy who looks strange like the mannequin starts walking towards her.
Exactly
saying,
like the mannequin.
Elena, it's you. She freaks out and pushes him down these stairs, and then he's kind of like broken again, isn't he?
Yeah, and we get the first shot that I recall of a watch, his like stopwatch, fob watch thingy, is fallen next to him, and the little time arrows. Wow, I really can't talk today. Anyway, they're not in the center, so you're like, what does this signify? Because it does that.
It means that time is insignificant.
So, at this point in the film, I was already quite confused, which was a strong theme for me in this entire film. Confusion. But I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, are they going to go with something that Lisa's actually died and this is her, like, on the other side?
Good guess, because, you know, the cinematography is very dreamlike. Very dreamlike, all of that could signify, and also the no time making sense. So now that she's, you know, buggered up this mannequin, and she's got lost from the group and stuff, she's obviously got to hitch a ride. So a car arrives. The chauffeur, George, is driving it. And in the back, Francis, an older gentleman, and his young wife, Sophia. So she hitches a ride with them.
In a gorgeous car.
The car breaks down. It's an old-timey car.
Yeah.
And it breaks down outside the house. So they're like, George, go and knock on the door. We need help. Knock on the door. Who's there? Telly Savalas. And what's her name? Lisa. She's like looking at him like,
Yeah, she backs away in
Yes.
fright. But also, did you not find it? I was literally laughing at
I
the
know
bit
you
when
were,
they're
yeah.
in the car because I was like, this is so awkward. You're there on your own. First of all, wouldn't you be absolutely panicked? Like, the tour group must have left by now. And also, why is no one looking for her? Again, she must be dead, because, right, none of this makes sense. Then
Yeah,
she
if
gets...
you already worked that out, you should now be watching the movie in a different way. This is
And then
a recurring nightmare. Or
She
something.
gets into this car after begging a lift, and the four of them, so the two in the back, her and the driver, they're all just driving in silence.
Staring at each other, yeah.
There's no dialogue. There's no like, oh, so what are you doing around here? Nothing. Or
Because it's
"Can
unnerving.
oh my god, it was so awkward.
Unnerving. So they arrive at the house, they're invited in. So the four of them in the car go into the house. Obviously, Telly Savalas is in the house. There are three others. You've got the Duchess, the blind Duchess, the head of the household. Her son, Maximilian, who's dressed very suavely. And the other person...
I'm pretty sure that's it.
No, there's like a housekeeper, isn't there?
No. I swear Telly Savalas is like the do
Is that,
everything guy.
am I getting everyone?
Yeah.
Let me think. The Duchess, one of the first things she does is she warns Lisa. It's like, get out of here. It's not going to be good for you. Lisa doesn't listen to this. Meanwhile,
They never do.
George, the chauffeur, he's fixing the banged up car with some duct tape outside. He's like on the floor underneath the car.
I'm not
with
gonna
duct
lie,
tape.
if I went to a mechanic and I was like, oh, there's a problem with the motor in my car, and they just got out like, here's a roll of duct tape, I'd probably be a bit concerned.
I wonder if it's breaking down.
Well, it seems to work though, doesn't it?
They're having like a dinner scene as well, and the Duchess wants Telly Savalas to introduce her to everyone. Let her know who everybody is. And Maximilian, the son of the Duchess, he walks away with some cake with chocolate sprinkles. And he goes to a bedroom and he's like, I bought your favourite cake with chocolate sprinkles.
There's some weird noises as well, like,
Yeah. And there's a bed which is covered with, what would you call them?
like the
Not sheets.
sheer curtains.
Sheer curtains, so we don't see what's inside there. And Max is saying weird stuff to her, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like, you'll never escape this
Yeah.
bed and things like that.
it's very bizarre.
Now, the
But
mannequin...
also, you haven't mentioned that the household, they're all dressed incredibly old-fashioned. So obviously our four in the car are supposed to be 70s, Lisa included. But these people are more like 1800s or something, maybe 17... I don't know.
What was Max,
But,
though?
Yeah.
I was getting more like Saturday Night Fever from Max.
Were you? No,
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be old school. I'm going to
He's
go
going to go
Regency.
out dancing with John Travolta. he's going to hit London in the swinging 60s, maybe even. No, swinging 60s, 70s disco craze. It's kind of like a mix of that for me.
No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be old school, but I can see how it could be both.
So the mannequin guy,
Yeah.
his name is Carlos.
Right.
Carlos or Carlo. And there's a dream scene now of Lisa's, and she's like running around a field. And Carlos comes out of nowhere, and they embrace. And all of a sudden they're back in the house, and he's like, I told you I'd come back for you. I was always going to come back for you. But then simultaneously, Maximilian is also kind of like kissing Lisa at the same time.
She's
So
getting around.
they're not having a go at the same time. It's just, it's separate. But they're both kissing her.
Yeah, I'm really confused. It's Lisa, it's Eleanor, it's
Lisa and Eleanor.
it's the mannequin, it's the real life version, it's the guy who's like, I love you, don't leave me. And again, it's her inertia throughout this whole thing that was pissing me off. She was, oh my god, I don't need some like over the top, I am woman, hear me roar. But she was literally just like, oh, you tell me, oh, okay, and you, oh, okay. Oh.
This is a Barber film starring Telly Savalas, alright? When men were men and women were women.
Very annoying.
That's what we're getting here. Francis, the older gentleman, his wife Sophia's running around the house now. She goes to her bedroom and George's chauffeur comes in. They're banging.
I've just realised something.
What?
I just said that the car people were 70s and the household were older. But it's just occurred to me that actually, because when the car breaks down, the wife, she doesn't say, oh, this old car. She says, oh, you and your foreign cars. And then the way she's dressed and the make and style of the car, I think they're supposed to be 20s.
Does that matter?
But it just adds to the thing of like, oh, okay, we're figuring out that maybe people are dead.
See, now you're reading into more the Italian style of filmmaking. Now you're really thinking about it. Now your brain's going.
Yeah, it just occurred to me now because I recall what she was wearing and it was very 20s.
Right, it's a typical woman again, just obsessed with what people are wearing. So as I was saying, Francis's wife, Sophia, she's gone to the bedroom. She's followed in there by George, the chauffeur. And she kind of alludes, oh, my husband, he either just turns a blind eye or he knows about us, so just come and do me.
Yeah.
So they're doing it. A little later on, after their illicit rendezvous, Sophia is walking around outside calling out for George, but instead she comes to the car and she's met by Francis, her husband, who like grabs her. He's like, you're coming with me. He knows what's going on. She's like, I'm not going anywhere with you. So he calls her a slut and gives her a backhander. And as she gets the backhander, the door opens and George falls out with his throat slit. She's beside herself. He's like, look, come with me now. Everyone's inside now. Sophia's crying. She doesn't care that her husband Francis knows that she's mourning George anymore. And Telly Savalas just comes out with a card. He's like, ba, 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 and just puts George on the cart and like wheels him out in front of everyone.
Yeah, they do
while
some
they follow
kind of
him.
weird like funeral procession following this. It's a wheelbarrow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a wheelbarrow.
And they get into like two lines behind it, and it was a very strange scene. But also, we get a shot, I think, of the pair of scissors that were used on him in the hands of the Duchess. So obviously she's being implicated.
Yeah. Or just outright fingered. Another little strange scene now. Carlo, the mannequin man, is back. He's walking around the house. And he's smoking. And he's at the bottom of the stairs. Telly Savalas comes out. He's like, could I bother you for a cigarette? Telly Savalas lights his own. He's like... But then the Duchess comes down the stairs and he puts the cigarette into Carlo's eyes. Like, will you put those cigarettes away? The Duchess doesn't like smoking, and he pops his lollipop back into his mouth. Now, Telly Savalas was a heavy smoker, and he just decided before this movie he's going to give up smoking, so it was his idea to have the lollipop. But that's why I said to you, is like, you could tell he's loving those drags on the fags. He's giving them up. Swaps them full of lollipops. And then, famously, as Kojak had lollipops all the time, so Telly Savalas kept it going. So he was like, if I'm not going to smoke, I'm going to suck lollipops. And it was begun here. TV history begins here.
It added to the weirdness of everything.
How, perfect casting Telly Savalas for this role. This is acting by yourself, because he's got to do with a lot of talking to himself and stuff, hasn't he? And you don't question it. At least I wasn't.
No, he was absolutely brilliant.
He was absolutely superb.
I was still just really confused though, because obviously with the fresco and that first overlay we see, it's I was like, okay, so he's supposed to be the devil. But then when you get to this house, he's the manservant, isn't he? And he doesn't seem particularly powerful.
I think that's the devil deceiving. That's what he's done. He's hidden himself more in the background. Yeah. That's what I was reading into it anyway. Now, we've already said that, Lisa/Elena's been getting off with two people, Max and Carlo, Maximilian. Now we see it again. Max/Carlo and Lisa are outside kissing. And she wanders off and she peeks through this window and she sees Telly Savalas now preparing the stiff Carlo. So he's not walking around anymore after his cigarettes. He's now stiff. And there's a bit where he's trying to stuff him into a casket. And Telly Savalas is like... he like crushes his ankles to fit him in there. And this room is so lush. It's so lushly dressed. There's like purple curtains draping down. You've got the arches much like outside and stuff like that. You've got flowers everywhere. You've got huge candlesticks.
Yeah,
everything's superb.
Much like the town where the fresco was, this building again has so much to lend itself to this film. It's creepy. It's, like you said, lush is a great word for it. There's loads of hidden nooks and crannies and interesting architecture. And even, the car couple, let's call them. I think the woman she mentions...
Francis and Sophia.
This is such a perfect location, it's romantic and creepy. And I was like, yes it is.
When you mentioned outside at the beginning, when she's walking around the back streets, and you said, everywhere they're shooting is fantastic because of the architecture and stuff. And that's just all still, plant the camera let the actors move around and just keep the setting around
And
us.
it did really cool things with the light as well because of the architecture.
But inside,
yeah.
the cinematographer is also doing amazing things with moving the camera as well later on, especially when Max is talking to the Duchess towards the end and things like this.
Yeah, I would say that's one thing that I love about the 70s movies that we've watched is that I suppose obviously because it wasn't just like anyone with a smartphone can make a film. When you were in the position of making a movie, it was like there was real care taken is very much the feeling you get, and it makes sense. But yeah, you can see that everyone was thinking about what they were doing.
Yeah, nowadays literally no care is taken in anything, and yet everyone talks about, oh, I love the cinematography though. What cinematography? Compare any modern day movie to good movies from the 70s, 80s and 90s. It's completely blown away. Now she's just seen Lisa has just seen the stiff Carlo be smushed into the casket. Also, she turns to her right, and Carlo's walking towards her. He's like, "Elena, I've been looking for you, Elena." Even though we know it's Lisa, because it's Lisa and the devil. It's back to Sophia now. She's mourning George by his bed. Francis comes on. He's like, "Come on, you slut, we're leaving." And he takes her outside. He goes, "We don't need a chauffeur anymore." She gets in the driver's seat. As he walks around the car, she proceeds to run him over a bunch of times. And you were loving that dummy, weren't you?
It was so silly. But also, just before this, again, I'm trying to think when, like, of a moment when Lisa actually has an opinion or really says much, because she seems to just be a dummy. Get it? She seems to just be a dummy because, again, there's a bit when before the driver's been offed, when the car people and the house people are discussing, and the car people are like, "Oh, so yeah, Lisa, you'll obviously have to come with us when the car is fixed." And then, I don't remember who it is, I think it's the devil. He's like, "Oh, I don't think she'll be going anywhere." And so the house people wanted her to stay, and the car people want her to come, and she's just there like...
Meek. Does that also give you the hate for her as well?
Yes. Not even hate, just I'm so irked by her.
Back into the house now, Sophia's just committed this deed. She's run over her husband multiple times. And she comes to this mannequin room. There's just mannequins everywhere. And again, nice camera shots on the mannequins. We're thinking, are they going to come alive? Who knows? What the hell's going on here? And
I don't know.
She sees Lisa on the floor making out with Carlo. And then someone comes up behind Carlo and batters him with like a stick.
I mean, I'm totally baffled.
Then she runs away at seeing this. And she ends up getting battered
With the
stick as well.
stick.
And while she's
Yeah.
running away, her blouse is barely hanging on to her breast. It's like, how low can we go with this shirt and have you run around without exposing your breast? Yeah, that's as low as we can go. And there she is, and they're just about hanging on. And then the camera pulls away, and it's Max. Max has now battered
Yeah.
these two in the head.
So now, is it the Duchess and her son doing this?
Thing
or...
is, Max has been walking around the house as well, hasn't he? Saying, "Why did you come back? You ruined my life. And I can't even get you because I cannot see you." But he could sense that. So he hasn't seen the real Carlo walking around yet, I assume.
Yeah, and the Duchess is also like, "Oh, I knew he would come back."
Yeah.
And also the Duchess is like, touched Lisa's face and had her manservant and son tell her what she looks like, basically. And it turns out she's like the spitting image of this
Elena
we keep hearing of.
Yeah, and that's why the Duchess have warned her to leave. Because she's going to cause all the problems because of the jealousy previously, which is going to be unfolded.
And he came back for her.
Yeah, it's great as well when Telly Savalas is describing what she looks like. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yeah.
Just everything he did in this was magic. Talking of magic, Telly is now... He's talking to himself. Lisa is comatose on the floor where she was making out with Carlo before he got his head bashed in. Do you remember how she got put to sleep?
No?
No, I can't recall either. But
I don't think it's
asleep now.
shown to us.
And Telly Savalas is walking around, talking to himself again while sucking a lollipop.
Yeah.
And he decides that it's time to wake up Lisa now, so he gives her a quick on the face like that. She's like, oh.
I mean, yeah, he does a lot of things in this. Again, like with the cigarette scene and stuff, just little things that are hilarious.
He's also mocking Carlo because he's got the mannequin Carlo again, and he's now sitting him in a chair, and he's like chopping him so that he like goes into place in the chair, and he's mocking Carlo. He's like, imagine losing your head over a woman. Then he slaps Carlo. Everyone's getting it.
Because his face is like cracked and he's
cracking.
trying to glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Even though Telly
but I'm
Savalas has only
enjoying
just
it.
had him worked on, he's like cracking, so I'm going to slap it back into place.
Yeah.
Lisa eventually wakes up and she sees Telly doing all this, and she's like weirded out by Carlo. She's like, I know this mannequin kind of thing. And then she runs away and she sees the blind Duchess touching the dead body of Sophia. And she freaks out. She's like, oh my God, what has the Duchess been doing to Sophia? Sophia's running around the castle. Now she runs into the arms of Max. Max is there now, and he tells her that she is even more beautiful than Elena, who turns out to be the unseen woman from the bedroom who likes the chocolate sprinkles cake. Right. So Max pulls back the curtains. He's like, let me show you. And it's a bit of a psycho moment, isn't it? Because Elena is there and she's just a skull.
A skeleton.
But she's dressed...
There's a bit of hair on it.
Yeah, and she's also dressed like she's like ready for a ceremony or something like this. And she has loads of like flowers and stuff around her, doesn't she? So now that Max has revealed this skeletal Elena to Lisa, he decides to give her the old chloroform treatment. So he doesn't quite knock her out. She's still conscious, but she's like bleary-eyed and stuff. And then he starts talking to herself. He's like, we'll always be together and it will be different with you. And he starts to undress her. He's just knocked her out of chloroform, and Max is beginning to undress Lisa on the bed. And he's obviously set her next to Elena. And he's like, it will be different with you. I know it will. And then we just have the strangest rape scene that I've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's she's inert and he's going for it, kissing her and stuff. And then at one point kissing, he stops. Well.
Yeah, just like putting his mouth over her chin and stuff like this.
Mind you, I'd noticed previously in this film, in all the kissing scenes, I was like, what is going on? Because it did look like, again, she was just being her and just going... and the men were just kind of going for it and she was just there like...
This is the 70s.
But anyway, and then at one point he draws back. I don't think he goes all the way. I think he's just been kissing her.
No, I think he does. I'm pretty sure that
well,
I saw Jism face.
I don't think so, because he pulls off and he's like, I can't do it with you watching, to the skeleton.
Does he say that? Verbatim?
I don't know about word for word, but the sentiment was definitely that.
Right, maybe I missed that, but I thought he had just finished in her. And as soon as he finishes, Elena starts laughing in his head, doesn't it? Like Norman Bates style, like when his mum's talking to him. We just hear Elena, the skeleton, laughing out loud. It's like, why won't you leave me alone? And this breaks him. He now goes into the ceremony room, the lush ceremony room. And in the casket, Carlo's in there again. So Max trashes the casket and the Duchess appears, his mother. And then it's kind of revealed the relationship behind all this. Lisa, Elena, Max, Carlo, the Duchess.
Yeah, and also Max keeps saying, I can't take all this death.
It was supposed to be our wedding day. Yeah, so what is the relationship which the Duchess...
Okay, so Carlo was...
Mannequin man.
The Duchess's husband.
Yeah.
Max's stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
And Elena was Max's betrothed. So that was who he was supposed to be marrying that day. And it seems that Carlos and Elena ran away together. Am I right?
Yeah, ran away together. Stuff just started doing it, having an affair. So Max killed Carlos. And I think the Duchess might have possibly done something. Either way, because Max has killed Carlos, he says, I avenged, the both of us. Yeah, and then he starts going crazy, doesn't he? She's like, I told you not to bring Lisa here. There's one way we can fix this. You have to kill Lisa. He's like, I can't kill Lisa. She insists on it, otherwise we're going to get in trouble. Starts walking towards him. He gets one of those giant candlesticks and stabs his own mother because of his love for Lisa.
Well, they had a weird
Elena.
relationship as well.
Yeah, and why is she blind? That just makes there's a lot of blind Duchess types in Italian horror.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with eyes.
So, in theory, we've been given a lot of explanation. And I had my own little hint right from the start that this might be some sort of post-death story. But I was still baffled by all that. all the extra
Yeah.
little details. I don't understand the mannequin versus the living versus different time frames and him,
As
Max, being like, I'm sick of death, and then killing people. If you're already dead, surely you're dead. I'm really confused.
As I've mentioned before, and I know we watched last week in previous episodes, it's always advantageous for a man to slightly confuse their lady.
You are such an idiot.
So now, Max is like running around, and he comes to the dining room, and all the dead are there, like just staring. Everyone who's died in the movie is now sat there. So you've got George's chauffeur, Carlos is there, everyone else is there. And as he's like walking around, he turns around, his mum shows up, his dead mum. She's kind of like weirdly walking towards him. That makes him back off. He ends up backing out of a window and falling to his death. His mother, the Duchess, comes to the window, and out of nowhere, Telly Savalas pulls her back. He's like, they're always getting away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mannequins. And also, it seems... Oh, yeah, that was it. Telly Savalas is also taking Lisa's measurements at some point previously, so we know he's going to have a mannequin made of her. So again, there's some sort of significance with the mannequins, but I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be.
To make your movie cool. That's kind of the end of proceedings in the house. And we see Lisa now leaving the next morning. She kind of like wanders out into the bushes, and there are some schoolgirls playing ball. The ball manages to make its way to Lisa, and one of the schoolgirls runs towards her, but her friends say, no, don't go near her. She's a ghost. No one has lived in that house for over 100 years. All the kids run away. She starts running around town again. Telly Savalas is there, keeping a close eye on her, sucking his lollipop. She gets in a cab, and his mannequin maker from the pawn shop thing from the beginning comes, and he's got the mannequin of Lisa.
Yeah, but with just like a shitty straw body as
Yeah,
well.
he's like,
I'm sorry.
I did not have any time.
But then the devil's still just, oh, it doesn't matter, it's too late or something
yeah,
along
it's
those
too
lines.
late for her.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so she gets in a taxi, and she ends up getting in an aeroplane. Camera pulls out, and the aeroplane is empty. So she wanders around, she goes to this other compartment of the plane, and much like the dinner table, all the dead from the movie are sat in their chairs. She freaks out, runs upstairs.
Lush aeroplane, by the way.
Yeah. Goes to the pilot's cabin, opens the door, and Telly Savalas turns around, sucking his lollipop, and then the credits roll. Yeah, this was just a waking nightmare, a recurring nightmare which she will never escape.
I'm still confused.
That makes it good though, doesn't it? You've put it bottom, right?
Yeah, because she was so annoying. I couldn't take it.
She didn't have any effect on me whatsoever. Oh, what did you?
Yeah,
what
but
did
you're
you
a big
make of,
sexist, so
what did
you probably were like, yeah, that's right.
I am a modern day Telly. Yeah. What did you make of Telly Savalas though? Because that saved, not saved the movie, but made the movie for me. I just thought he was one of the most magnetic performances I've probably seen in our entire review show.
Wowza. Yeah, he was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So fun to watch. With that being said though, again, Lisa irked me. But also, I'm not entirely sure how I felt about Max. His performance.
It was a bit ropey.
It
was a little bit ropey. And if you
It
notice
was
in
really
this
bizarre.
one, everyone is doing their dialogue in English, but they still dubbed it.
Yeah.
And I think there was something to do with the dubbing, which it made Lisa not annoying to me. I don't know what it is about dubbing people. It's just that it overtakes kind of any major performance or what they're actually doing in the film as characters. It makes it so
his
different.
Performance was very strange.
Yeah, there were parts of it that were ropey. Maybe he was just brought in for his suave good looks.
Yeah. But yeah, Telly Savalas steals it. Absolutely. And I don't know how many people in his position could have done it as well.
No, absolutely not. And it's the kind of story we've seen done many a time, probably beforehand slightly and certainly afterwards.
Which is
But
why
still,
I could kind of have a guess of what was going on.
This
at
is
the
a good
beginning.
version of that though.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah. And I'll definitely watch this movie again. I'll even search up some more Telly Savalas now. Hopefully he's in some more horror films. So on to my number one pick of the week. Your number two pick?
Yeah.
Prime Evil. And I knew this was going to be good from the opening when he just have the title card come up and it all burns away, and behind it there's a paper mache devil going rah.
I I thought this was supposed to be like a naked mole rat or something.
Yeah, I said paper mache. It almost looks kind of rubber, like some rat.
I did not think that. I did
thrown
not
with
see
paint.
this and be like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be the devil.
with bat wings.
I definitely.
I certainly got, between the fire and the red, I did get devil at least.
Yeah, but I thought it definitely looked more like some kind of naked rodent to me.
Yeah, that was great title opening, and then it gets straight into it. It's 1349, right? Half of Europe, more than half of Europe, has been wiped out by the plague. So the people around the world are, they're very superstitious and very devout at this time, but they're losing faith in God because they believe he is responsible for unleashing this plague on them. So Satan grabs the opportunity. He takes Father Thomas Seton to be his leader, who will gather a mass following to administer throughout the world his prime evil. And then to, demonstrate this fact, Father Thomas Seton, he's in the church, there's like a monk there, he says, renounce God and join our new satanic church. He says, never! And then he's beheaded. Yeah. Great opening. Do you like that? Father Seton. Selected by Satan.
It's not the only time we've had something like this, is it?
Now it's modern day. What do we want to open on? Of course, a satanic ritual sacrifice. So Father Seton is behind the candles on the altar with a hood on. Everyone's wearing a hood. There's loads of members of this cult. And there's a guy there who is sacrificing his naked daughter on the altar, although they look about the same age. This woman is not his daughter. Clearly.
Okay, that didn't spring out at me, but it did spring out at me that he's got his nude daughter and he's going to sacrifice her. I mean, that's as bad as it gets.
And he's looking at her like, yes, this is my daughter. Yes, she is pure. I swear it.
Yeah.
And for this sacrifice, for the next 13 years, he will have untold wealth, power, and he will not age. And you have to do this every 13 years. Serve up a member of your family to keep this deal, this pact with the devil.
Preferably a young virgin.
Yes,
a female.
Preferably, because Satan has a point system in this movie.
He does. But I was also thinking, I was like, okay, so you get 13 years and then you got to do it again. And I was like, people are going to run out of family pretty quickly.
Do you like this though? Immortal monks from the 14th century in present day administering primeval.
Yeah. What's not to like?
We're now introduced to our main girl, our final girl, if you want to call her that, Alexandra. And she's introduced in the gym. And she's talking to her friend Brett. Alexandra makes it clear that she's a virgin. Brett is not. And she says the immortal line, "What? Don't you want to get poked?" End scene.
So 80s. This film is very 80s in many cases. Even in the next scene where they're getting changed and her friend, the sexual deviant that she is, gets
Brett.
into her outfit. It's the most horrendous thing I've ever seen, by the way. She puts on the full lycra onesie thing and then an outfit on top. My mum would love it. She loves layers.
And when Brett goes to her locker, there's just like loads of Cheetos and tortilla chips.
She's always
in
munching,
there.
isn't she?
Yeah, at least she's in the gym though. Eat what you want. Gym hard.
I'd be lying if I said I'd never had a donut in the gym.
We've seen the cult in modern day. The cult have themselves a lackey. He's called Ben. And he's given a list by a lady who I believe is called Angela of a bunch of people that he's got to go and kidnap for the cult.
Yeah.
Angela is the woman of George, this old creep guy who's also part of the cult, who also happens to be Alex's grandfather. Alex, our main girl. George is her grandfather. Right, so they're introduced now. We're now introduced to a nun, Sister Angela Spencer, and she is going to go undercover in the cult to stop this madness.
Yeah, so we do get like a bit of a backstory as well as to why she's so interested in doing this. And we get backstory for most of the characters, but I was getting a bit confused.
So my primeval plan was working throughout the week to keep Lady
confused. Yes, it was working. I was a bit confused because I just felt like it wasn't that there were too many characters.
There are a lot of characters.
But it also felt like some of them were just kind of completely pointless.
Yeah.
This being one of them. I don't really understand why we needed the sub-story of this nun.
Well, she's got infiltration. How else are we going to stop the cult if we don't have someone from the good church?
Well, isn't Alex supposed to be our, like, you know...
No, she's just being used as a sacrificial pawn because her grandfather is in the occult group.
And both of these women have very similar things, because the nun is saying how when she was a kid, her family moved around a lot.
Mm.
And then in one of the countries, like, I think it was her mum or something, got involved in the cult and she was abused.
Mm-mm.
So that's why she's so interested in, like, tearing them down.
Well, there you go. Why have you got to question anything then? We know Alexandra's a virgin, right? She said as much in the locker room. Don't you want to get poked? No. That's what she says. And she's such a do-gooder that she runs, or at least works in, like a kind of company that takes in troubled youth. And one of these troubled youths is Kathy. And after we're introduced to Kathy the blonde, the next time we see her, she's having sex with her boyfriend. Big boobs are out. Ben the enforcer has turned up to engage in some karate with Kathy's boyfriend. It's more like really bad kickboxing than karate, but it's just, yeah.
Where did that come from?
That was really good. Ben ends up killing the boyfriend, then he drugs Kathy, and he's taking her through the corridors of his apartment block. And this guy comes through the door, he's like, hey, she had too much to drink, huh? Well, have fun. Because, you know, in the 80s, it was all right to, you know, have sex with passed out women.
Was it, though?
And this movie is directed by a lady. So I think she would know.
Well, maybe it's her way of commenting on society.
Roberta Findlay, who was mostly employed to shoot hardcore porn. Yeah. And here she is doing this. She's kind of like reined it in, hasn't she? Alexandra, even though she is a virgin, she has got a boyfriend / fiance. Boyfriend. His name is Bill. Successful Bill. And I didn't know this is a Christmas movie. They're Christmas shopping. So they're like milling about. And then how do you end Christmas shopping? With a horse and cart ride. It's like a fairy tale. But no, Alex is about to ruin Christmas with her story, which she tells to Bill, that at 6 years old, her father sold her to a bunch of men who took photos and video of her playing with a 6-year-old boy and vice versa. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, again, small thing, but still confusing, because when her friend in the gym is like, don't you want to get poked? She's like, oh, you've been seeing this guy for like 3 months. And she obviously hasn't done anything. But then there's no mention of them being engaged. But all of a sudden, yeah, they're engaged. And she says, I can't believe you're still with me, even though I haven't given it up. And he's like, well, I'm still hoping. And that's when she tells him, like, well, this is why. So, yeah.
I feel used.
Breast.
After this revelation, Alexandra's brought to the police station because they're informing her that her intake, Kathy's boyfriend, has been killed and Kathy's missing. And the cop there, his name is Detective Carr, and he looks like he's straight out of the Sabotage video by the Beastie Boys. Yeah, the cop with the tash. You haven't seen it probably, have you? No, Sabotage Cop. That's what this is. So another reason not to take it that seriously. I'm surprised he wasn't sliding across his bonnet with his gun in his hand. And stuff like that, yeah.
Slick move.
He's probably thinking, I can't stand it. I know they planned it. That's the lyrical content. Sister Spencer, she has like her first meeting with Father Thomas Seton. And she's talking about, you know, getting into the cult because she's going to reject her God and stuff like that. And when Thomas is like, they have a brief conversation. Now Father Thomas Seton, the leader of the cult, he sits down with old man George. That's Alexandra's grandfather. And he's talking about to George that your 13 years are almost up. It's time for another sacrifice. And by the way, Father Thomas Seton is still cheesed off 13 years later that George's previous sacrifice was a dude. He's like, don't bring us any more dudes to sacrifice. Yeah. Okay, this time we expect you to deliver a woman. An innocent woman.
Yeah, but also it was really bizarre because the granddad, he's like, yeah, but you know,
George.
That was my son and he sold my granddaughter and stuff.
Alexandra.
He deserved to die, but then he's quite happy to give her up anyway. So
yeah,
like,
because how many more family members has he got lying about? He's old already, isn't he? So he's got father children, and his missus is not giving up to him at all, is she, previously in this? Remember, he's all over, he's like, come on, come on. She's like, no,
Yeah.
get off me.
Well, can't really blame her.
Yeah. Bring us your granddaughter. He's like, I'll bring my granddaughter, and we'll sacrifice her. And then Thomas Seaton is like, remember, there are extra points if she's a virgin. I loved William Beckwith as Father Seaton in this film. He was always like, a virgin, you'll say. Bring her to me. He's constantly talking in baritone with his finger just underneath his lip. Yeah. So George is quite excited about this, but Seaton clearly does not like George, probably because he's bringing dudes to sacrifice. That is not cool. If you're going to make an occult sacrifice, female virgin is the way to go. We all know that.
Yeah, but we've also seen that George is a bit too ambitious, isn't he?
He is ambitious. He wants to usurp Seaton, doesn't he? And he's running his mouth about it to his much younger missus. I've mentioned William Beckwith as Father Seaton. He has Kathy now tied up in like one of his lairs or something like that, and he's doing the first of his kind of hypnotism tricks.
It's like a vampire. Look into my eyes.
Yes, look into my eyes. Imagine the pleasure, the exquisite pleasure. And then the girl's like instantly under his thing, like, oh, exquisite pleasure.
Yeah.
And then they kiss.
Yeah.
Because this is why you run a cult. You run a cult to get women, didn't you?
Yes.
He's been getting it for like 500, 600 years.
So he's recruiting these women.
Yeah.
The men are being offed, but the women are being recruited as his lovers.
I think I can only imagine it's to be his lover. Yeah, because these people aren't virgins either. We know that Kathy's not a virgin. She's having sex with her boyfriend. He got karateed by the enforcer.
And the young girl was a prostitute.
The young girl that's a prostitute, yeah, she comes a bit later. Although they say she's young, she's supposed to be 17. She looks about 35. Once again, the age is completely wrong for this. Movie gets going now. Alex, she's invited to a party by her grandfather George. She's also going to go along with her mother.
Yeah.
But her mum is like, I've never liked that side of your family, your father's family. They're all weird and evil. And Alex is like, evil? Come on. Doesn't really believe in it, does it? So they go
Mama
there,
knows best.
go to the party, and George is introducing / pimping his granddaughter out to Father Seaton. And George is also hanging around Alex's mum saying, oh, Alex should come and stay with me. Let her come and stay with me. Alex's fiance / boyfriend Bill is also at the party, and he's looking on all these pervs coming on to Alexandra, isn't he?
Yeah, well, particularly the priest. He's just watching the priest being like, Alex,
Father Seaton.
imagine the pleasure.
Yeah. What he's actually saying is, do you plan to marry Bill? You need a real man. Imagine the pleasure. Yes, William Beckwith. This is one hell of a performance. Hammy as fuck, but 10 out of 10 at the same time. He's also in Romeo and Juliet, so that's major kudos there. When Bill's been witnessing all this, Alex walks back up to him like, she's a bit in a daze, isn't she? Like I said, always confused lady. And he says, why don't you just go and bone that perv priest? And she slaps him. But he's right, because then she goes back to her room after the party with her mum, and they're both swooning over Seaton. Like, oh my God, when I looked into his eyes. And then the mum's like, oh, if I was 40 years younger or something like that,
Yeah,
I would give him a go as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine that he has a
Was he
real
sexy?
aura presence in person, because through the camera I wasn't really getting the infatuation. You were.
Yeah, I was. And because of this lusting that
You're lusting.
the mother is
right.
indulging in, when Alexandra leaves her to go and take a phone call, some men in robes walk in the room and they force feed her booze.
Oh, yeah.
Upside down, and that's the end of Alex's mum.
Yeah.
She's been boozed
Poor
to
lady.
death. Yeah. So now
I think it was as well because she was going to get in the way of, George getting his hands on
exactly.
Alex, wasn't it?
Because when George suggests that Alex come stay with him, she's like, over my dead body.
That can be
Yeah,
arranged.
so because she's going to be a problem, like you say, they've got her offer. So now Father Thomas Seaton, he's talking once again with Lady Spencer, Nun Spencer, right? Angela Spencer, about joining the evil church. And he says if she breaks her vows, her fate will be swift and terrible. So this ceremony to be inducted into the evil church seems to be she's got to wash some feet. Then she's got to take her habit off and
burn it.
Do that with her hair. Burn
watch.
it. And voila, you've got yourself a satanic slut. Done is done, isn't it? This film is cool. It's Alex's mother's funeral now. Christmas is upon us. Father Thomas insists that Alexandra come and stay with him during this horrible time. Right? And to get this plan into motion, George takes Bill away. He's like, "I'll come with me," just so that Father Seton can quickly make out with Alexandra in the church grounds in the daylight. Very brazen, isn't he, Seton?
Well, he is the devil's right-hand man, so...
You'd mentioned previously the underage 35-year-old smack addict. We are now introduced to her, and on the street it's the enforcer Ben who's pushing some new drugs. So she's a smack addict. He says, "Oh, what I've got is even more powerful than smack, but you don't want it. Come back and let me take a hit." Ben takes her back to the lair to get tied up. Father Seton is there right away. Now, am I confused here? Because she's underage, is Seton like, "This woman is underage. I cannot have sex with her. I must kill her"?
No, this is all wrong. And this isn't the girl I said was underage. The girl that's underage is right at the beginning of the movie that Alex takes in as part of a charity thing.
Kathy.
I don't remember her name.
She's been writing away in this.
But anyway, she's
So
done
she's
This
underage.
is a completely separate woman who's just a,
Yeah, that's what I
druggie
said.
on the street.
That's what I said. Random smack
Yeah,
addict
but they
girl.
never say that she's underage. Ever.
I think they did.
And the reason...
Everyone's underage.
The reason he offs her...
Is it because of Ben?
It made me giggle. No, it's because, his look into my eyes, mind control type thing. When he's saying the same stuff to her that he's previously controlled other women with, she's like, "What?"
Oh, it's the smack.
Yeah,
And Ben's drugs that's done it.
So clearly his powers are not working on her, so he's
Right.
like, "Oh, fuck this then," and just offs her instead.
Also, as Ben tried to have a quick go at her as well, because he's told
What
off.
are you doing?
He's told off, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think that was even her. That was one of the other ones. He's already converted, and Ben's like, "Ooh," and yeah, the devil guy gets really pissed off because it's his woman. He's done the mind powers.
Yeah. And also, Ben is never going to get the powers of the occult, is
No.
he? He's just going to stay human forever and won't be immortal.
So what's the point?
Yeah, what is the point, I guess? 'Cause he's not getting any women. He's not getting any monetary value.
I think Setan got him out of prison or
That was
something.
it, yes,
And
yes.
Right, so it's one
And
of
without
those.
him, he'll send him back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Bill, throughout the movie, Alex's fiance/boyfriend, he's been quite
Right.
suspicious of George and his perv priest, Dr. Seton. So he tries to get Alex to leave for Christmas. He's like, "No, I couldn't possibly." And he's like, "It's because of that priest, isn't it?" He gets all jealous of the priest. And
He's
e-
probably just pent
he's
up,
even
isn't
like,
he?
"I've been so patient with you." He is pent up.
He's very pent up.
He needs to
I mean,
come forth, doesn't he?
but to be fair, that's his choice to be like, well, she's not put out. And to be fair to her, obviously, I'm not saying she's wrong. She's got good reason. But then why is he proposed and being all like, well, maybe he thinks it's a wedding night. I don't know. The whole thing's very
Maybe
strange,
he just
though.
thinks that he can fix her. It's not going to happen, is it? I've written now that Alex takes in a new druggie, Judy. It's another druggie, another young Juddy. And we have a gym scene number 2, right, where Brett, the "don't you want to get poked girl," she's having a swim, and Ben comes to the swimming pool. And he drugs her.
Yeah.
Takes her back now. Now Bill's getting turned on by Alex, because Alex is letting him roll around on her and stuff like that. Feels like he's going to get something. He's rejected.
She's being such a tease.
She's quite hot as well. This has got to
She
be.
is
This has
hot.
got to be very hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah. This new driver, like Judy, she sneaks out
Right.
of her premises in Alexandra's safe house and gets into Ben's car. What an idiot!
Oh, it's Judy I was talking about then. She's definitely the underage one. That
Right.
Okay. Yeah, she gets into Ben's car thinking she's going to turn some tricks.
Bill, he's trying to warn the sabotage cops now about the cult. And Alex is now with Father Thomas Seton, and he hypnotizes her again. So it's coming towards the end of the movie, and kind of we're all rooting for him now, aren't we? Because Father Seton is the last chance we're going to get to see Alexandra's breasts if we're going to see them at all. You know, Bill's been completely useless at getting anywhere. Seaton's here though, his hypnotism, I'm backing him. I think it's going to work. There's a fight. Bill and Ben, flower pot men. Bill, the fiance of Alex, is fighting Ben, the enforcer. Ends up with Bill being thrown off the top of the church roof or something, doesn't it? He's dead. So then Thomas is come to the end of the movie. Father Thomas Seton, he's leading the ritual. Everyone's standing around in the robes. There's candles everywhere. George is everywhere because he's going to sacrifice his granddaughter, Alex. Judy, Kathy, and the gym girl are there. They get their breasts out because that's part of ritualistic occult sessions, isn't it? That's what you do.
Breasts,
And meanwhile, the cops, the sabotage cops, they're working late and they're like trying to figure out what's going on when they realise it's the 21st.
Oh my god. It's
So
tonight.
they infiltrate the church. They get through the door. Father Thomas Seton comes out and he starts doing his psychobabble. So they point their guns at him and they're like, cut the crap, fart breath.
Oh yeah, fop. Whoa. I mean,
What a
bit
line to be
unprofessional.
given. Cut the line. Cut the crap, fart breath.
It's such a 5-year-old school grounds kind of diss,
Yeah.
isn't it?
They put loads of
Fart
bullets
breath.
into him, but of course Father Seton is completely impervious to bullets. So he's like, put that off his shoulder and gone straight back to the ritual. And the puppet Satan appears. And then there's an orgy. Everyone in the hooded robes starts getting it on.
And Ben tries to get in on it.
Ben's on the outside and he sees Sister Angela kind of crawling about this orgy, not getting any. He's like, oh, I'm going to go and have her.
Yeah.
So he tries to take her, but she stabs him. Then she stabs the paper mache / rubber Satan, which sounds like it's deflating.
So
Doesn't take much to kill the
Yeah.
Satan, does it? Just a stab wound.
So if you shoot his right hand man, nothing happens. But if you stab him, then it's
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah. George is about to sacrifice Alex's granddaughter, but because Sister Angela had stabbed everyone, everyone starts to get old. Their real age starts to show, all that melty face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone dies. Everything is fine. But as we know, prime evil will never die. So Father Seton is walking around New York with a realtor. And he sees a new church. And he says, this one will do just fine.
Yeah, because they have to be in consecrated grounds for some reason. But
Yes.
I'm so how has he survived, but the actual devil supposedly has been killed?
I think because he is Seton, he is Satan. He's been picked by the devil. But he got so much power that he can't die. He's got too much devil power. Or it's been transferred to him.
So he's got more power than the devil who gave him the power.
Certainly more power than that paper mache devil, it seems. Yeah, he's seen better days, the devil, hasn't he? Plus, he's about this big, the devil.
Like I said, naked mole rat.
As soon as I saw it at the beginning, I knew this was going to be great. And it was great. 70 grand this cost. This is pretty impressive for 70 grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks good. And it was good. Look into
Yeah.
my eyes, not around the eyes. Imagine the pleasure. The exquisite pleasure. William Beckwith, he's only got 12 credits. No one's used him. I can't understand why. I thought he was absolutely... He's one of the reasons this went top. His entire character.
Interesting, because we've had so many great performances in this.
Absolutely.
week.
That's because we're back to the 70s, 80s and 90s, and it doesn't really get any better than that.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching all three of them. I was
Absolutely.
confused through a lot of it. And
Not my fault.
There was some questionable lighting, apparently.
Uh-huh.
But I would definitely recommend all three of these to
Yeah.
horror fans.
Full frontal nudity, needles up the nose,
Nail.
virgin sacrifices. Yeah, what else could you ask for, really?
Satan!
Blouse is just about hanging off a nipple. Yeah, good stuff.